Party people, it's Friday. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Simply Cyber's Daily Cyber Threat Brief Podcast. I'm your host, Gerald Auger, coming to you live from the Buffer Auger Flow Studio. If you're looking to stay current on the top cyber news while getting high fives and feeling good because you're immersed in a community that's all about good times, well, then you're in the right place, my friend. So grab your cup of coffee, get a comfortable chair, and let's settle in. We're off and running on this beautiful Friday morning. All right, guys. I hope everyone is having a phenomenal week. It was a long week. I won't, beat around the bush, as it were. For me personally, coming off of Vegas last week, getting right back into the throw of things, a lot going on in the personal life. I hope everybody here has reached Friday and is feeling good. Had some wins, maybe a couple stumbles this week, but learning opportunities. Guys, over the next hour, we're going to go through the 8 cyber stories of the day that are all current. I don't know what they are. I haven't researched or prepped. I literally don't know what the stories are.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
I don't have time for that. But Ross the Boss has time for 10 gifted subs. Ross the Boss, you're an absolute boss.
We just become best friends. Yep.
So for 10 people who are now squad members, like Galaxy So Far Away, Pranav 581, Gabriel, T Marquette, you have Ross the Boss not to thank. Definitely look in your emote tray. You have emotes for days. Whenever someone does gifted subs, I love spamming the old Oprah emote. You get a membership. You get a membership. Thank you, Ross the Boss. I feel like you're setting the tone and the vibes for today's episode and it being a Friday. Guys, I have no idea what we're going to cover, what I'm going to say, the metaphors that are going to come out of my mouth. That's the charm of the show. If you are here for the first time, though, you may not know what's going on, but one thing that you're going to know right now is that if you're here first time, let us know in the chat with a hashtag first timer. Hashtag first timer. We have a special emote, a special sound effect, and a special way to welcome our new friends to the Simply Cyber community. So again, if you're here for the first time, drop a hashtag first timer in chat. You can, oh my God. I got someone mowing my house, my yard right now. The guy just hit the shed I'm in. That's a first. Hold. Oh, Mad Destroyer, coffee aficionado, and magic expert, dropping 5 gifted subs. My man, Mad Destroyer.
We just become best friends. Yep.
Mad Destroyer, by the way, we're looking for maybe some action on Sunday, little pod action if you're interested. I've got an absolute filthy discard deck that I'm looking to tune someone up with. Guys, thank you so much. Hey, first timers, we got one. Cuber, Queubor @QU. Welcome to the party, pal. There we go. Hold on. Let me do this. Let me do this properly. Cuber. What? Oh, we're just going to go wide on this one. I'm going to turn this up. Turn up the mic. Yeah, here we go.
Welcome to the party, pal.
There we go. Welcome to the party, pal. You hear me, Bob Power? Yeah. That's a deep cut. Tribe Called Quest. Bob Power, you there? All right. So, Cuber, thanks so much for dropping in here. Squad members, thank you for welcoming our first-timers to the party. Tiak, Marcus Kyler, Port Zero, Mad Destroyer, of course. Aleda, Kai Cypher. All right, guys. So what else we got? What else we got cooking here? Every single episode of the Daily Cyber Threat Brief is worth half a CPE. Go to cyberthreatbrief.simplycyber.io. Claim your CPE for today's episode. Very easy. See how it's today, August 14th, episode 1195. Put your name, email, couple check boxes to attest that you're here. You hit this big yellow button at cyberthreatbrief.simplycyber.io/CPE. And on September 1st, I'm going to email you your official CPE certificate, evidence. It's got my name and everything. It's pretty solid stuff. Now, we are going to go through the news. We're going to have fun. But halfway through the show, we got to take a break. You know what I mean? It's like if you're running a race and you grab the little water cup at the water station. By the way, I'm a runner. Can I just point out really quickly, if you didn't know, like, so those water stations, sometimes people run through and just like slap the water out of the person's hand, or they'll grab a cup of water. I tried this myself once. Grab a cup of water and then take a sip while full running. Guess what? It doesn't work out so well. You choke. Here's the reality. Spoiler. If you're running like a 2-hour race, walking for 4 seconds so you can take a sip of water does not really impact your final time, okay? You can just sprint for like 2 seconds and catch up on your time. Just saying, those people who do that are ridiculous. But at the mid-roll, while we're taking our water break, James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet is going to delight us, tickle us. One might even say slap our knees with dad jokes galore. James text messages me 4 or 5 dad jokes every Thursday night. I don't look at them. It is left unread at this point, and I will read it at the mid-roll, and we'll all have a good laugh. Thanks, James. James, who's currently in flight right now, 35,000 feet, seat 3B, all the usual. All right, guys. Before we get into it, let me just say a quick shout out and thank you to the stream sponsors. One particularly needs to get recognized immediately. That's right, anti-siphon training. Today is the day. Don't be the person who's left outside looking through the window inside. Don't be like Squidward looking out the window down at SpongeBob and Patrick. 1 hour, 52 minutes from now, you can do the daily cyber threat brief and get right into the InfoSec Age of AI Summit. Anti-Siphon is putting on this free virtual AI and security summit. Learn how security experts are using AI. 6 hours, live, virtual, software, offensive, defensive, CI/CD pipeline, cyber threat intelligence, and it all ends with an amazing panel, AMA, to include Jason Haddix and John Strand. Legends. Dude, this thing is hotter than a stolen gun, all right? Come on down. Get yourself some AI. If you're going, I'm going to start a poll right now. Are you attending Age of AI Summit? Oh, by the way, you get 6.5 CPEs on top of it all. Come on now. I'll be there. In fact, we're actually going to cut Cyber Career Hotline, the hidden AMA program, at the end of today's show to 9:30 because I literally have to do some work today before I just turn on full blast and get a bunch of solid AI information. So giddy up for that. Stay tuned, guys. Also want to say a quick shout out to ThreatLocker. ThreatLocker, cybersecurity solutions for the endpoint, the cloud, the network. They used to be just the endpoint, but they continue to innovate, continue to level up. Meet the world's leading zero trust platform, effectively doing application allow by default. Meaning, if it's not already pre-approved, it's not running. Custom malware, polymorphic malware, spearfish payloads, second stage payloads, post-exploitation. Nope. They give you granular control over every app, every script, and every process in your environment. Fewer alerts, less blind spots. Go to threatlocker.com now to learn more. You will not be disappointed. And ask in chat, man. There's people in chat who use ThreatLocker and can give their own self-attestation. But now, my friends, I need you to sit back, relax, and just let the cool sounds of the hot news wash over us all in an awesome wave. I will see you at the mid-roll. Let's go.
From the CISO series, it's Cybersecurity Headlines.
These are the cybersecurity headlines for Friday, August 14th, 2026. I'm Steve Prentice. Akira Affiliates' innovative crash mode attack almost worked. Security firm Huntress is reporting on a fascinating story of an affiliate of the Akira ransomware operation that used a novel technique to shut down endpoint defenses during a recent intrusion. In short, it rebooted a compromised server into Windows safe mode to knock out both an EDR agent and Microsoft Defender in one move. The well-prepared attacker had, quote, anticipated that safe mode would also block their own AnyDesk service and preemptively added a registry entry to keep it running through the reboot, end quote. Unfortunately for the hackers, the safe mode reboot created out-of-virtual memory errors, crashing the ransomware's process tree before encryption could begin. Although this attempt was a failure, Huntress urges organizations to, quote, enforce MFA on all VPN accounts, monitor for bursts of failed VPN logins followed by a successful one, and ensure that EDR is deployed across every endpoint rather than a subset of the environment, end quote.
All right. So, dude, here's the reality. You can have all of the controls in place. I've had not this exact thing, but I've had something similar happen in my environment. Thank God. You can have all the controls in place and a threat actor still succeeds in getting in. But, dude, computers are fickle beasts. If you've ever worked support, you know how, you can have a gold load image and it just not the same on every endpoint. This instance, the threat actor actually had it boot into safe mode, which is like, if you don't know what Windows safe mode is, it's effectively like a pared down version, like a less things are running version of Windows, just to kind of, when you're troubleshooting, to kind of eliminate a lot of dependencies and drivers and services and other crap like that. You don't typically, that's why it's called safe mode, because like you're basically firing up like just the limited stuff, right? I guess what would be a metaphor for safe mode? Safe mode would be like if the power went out in your house, right? And you like rebooted your home into safe mode and like only a couple like running lights came on so you could kind of see where you're walking or whatever, but not every light in the house, right? I guess that's kind of a comp. Or like, in a building when like the emergency lights come on. Anyways, Akira is pretty solid ransomware threat actor. They do the affiliate model. The affiliate is the one who came up with this. It does make me wonder if AI had been involved in like helping come up with this like creative, novel technique of having the thing reboot. Because basically, again, the point is why, Marcus, why are you screaming prophylactics? The reason that, if you think about it, right? All right, so it looks like 3 out of every 4 people are going to the AI summit. So I only have 2 hands, so I can only high five 2 people at a time. And if there's 3 out of 4, we're going to have to come up with a creative, like a third hand. When you reboot into safe mode, unless things start up, a lot of the security controls potentially don't start up either, like EDR or, maybe logging or whatever. So that is the, I guess, motivation or incentive for a threat actor to want to get into safe mode. Now, cleverly, they had set up a persistence mechanism in the Windows registry to handle their malware continuing to run in safe mode. Problem is straight operating system troubles. The system ran out of virtual memory. It possibly, when it booted into the safe mode, it lost some of the drivers that allowed it to write to disk and be able to kind of have that extended memory space. So whatever, good for the victim, bad for the threat actor. I do want to point out one quick thing here because, thank you, Marcus. I do want to point out one quick thing here, really quick, all right? And I get put on blast occasionally for this, but I don't care. I'll continue to shout this from the mountaintops. This is a really novel technique. Super cool. Oh my God, threat actor, you're so hot right now. Where are you?
That Hansel's so hot right now.
Threat actor's so hot. Came up with a really innovative persistence mechanism, had the machine reboot into safe mode, crawled laterally across their network, found their crown jewels. Oh my God, I can barely keep my clothes on. Hello, can I just point out really quickly that the initial attack vector, if you read the story, which I just did because I don't research or prep for these, the initial attack vector says quite clearly from Huntress's blog post, and I'm going to highlight it right here. Here we go. Let me highlight this and let me zoom in for everybody in the back to be able to read it. According to Huntress, the intrusion began in early August with a burst of failed login attempts against a SonicWall SSL VPN, consistent with credential spraying attack. 7 minutes later, one attempt succeeded. A VPN account with no multi-factor authentication in place. So the fact that SonicWall SSL VPN doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it was a Fortinet VPN. Oh, Fortinet. It doesn't matter if it was the next level, most expensive $1 trillion VPN. They used a valid user account to log in. The valid user account had no multi-factor authentication in place. The threat actor logged into the environment. Again, it doesn't matter if you buy the most expensive piece of technology you can possibly afford. Hey, you know what? It's John Hammond from Jurassic Park, not John Hammond, our local neighborhood threat hunter. John Hammond from Jurassic Park, the guy who said, "Spare no expense." By the way, rest in peace, Ed Neal. Rest in peace, right? Spared no expense. We bought the most expensive VPN on the market. Okay, that's fine. But if you don't put multi-factor, if you don't maintain user accounts, you're going to have users that reuse passwords. You're going to have users that use common passwords. You're going to have users that use crappy passwords. And if you do that, this is it. Okay. So again, threat actor could have used AI. The threat actor could have been the next generation of human evolution with the biggest brain possible. They could have been a supervillain from the Marvel universe with a giant brain. It doesn't take, my 11-year-old could log in with a valid user account and no MFA. Okay. This is a script that you learn in Pen Testing 101. So I just want to point out, yes, Akira is awesome, but before you start looking for, some wet wipes to clean your butt, just know this could have been prevented with basic cyber hygiene for your program. Stop getting super geeked up over the $1 million shiny blinking light that you saw at Black Hat and just go put multi-factor authentication on, my guy.
WhatsApp rolls out Scam Alert feature. This is a new and optional feature currently in limited beta rollout that uses a local machine learning model to warn users when scammers are targeting them. The feature works on device and does not report back to WhatsApp or Meta. It is trained on scam conversations reported by users and, quote, is designed to check whether incoming messages from non-contacts match known scam patterns using linguistic signals and probabilistic classification based on conversational structure, end quote.
All right, so this is pretty cool. These messaging platforms, pig butchering, threat actor, you can't really stop someone from text messaging you once, right? You can block it afterwards. But threat actors know this. They have these pig butchering factories, basically, where they just have people sending text messages. You can automate it, scam it. So WhatsApp is very popular. iMessage, Telegram, dude, it's like all over the place. Maybe not Signal as much. I get them mostly on iMessage. I haven't seen much pig butchering text messages lately. I haven't even seen that many, like, you have an overdue toll booth violation. I haven't seen that either, but doesn't matter. Threat actors are still doing it. So just like the phone companies are sending you messages now when it says potential scam caller on your phone, these apps are, basically saying, hey, this could be a scam message, helping my Aunt Dorothea not fall victim. You and I, Roswell UK, Phil Stafford, Larry Shervington, All three of us know what a scam message looks like. My Aunt Dorothea, no clue. Okay. And it's not because it has nothing to do with her intellectual abilities. It's just these threat actors. It's a numbers game, right? Send it out to 10,000 people, 1,000 fall for it. 10 of the 1,000 give up some money. Threat actor makes a payday and moves on to the next day. That's it. So WhatsApp, thank you very much. Keep doing you. If I had to make a prediction, all the threat actors are going to do is hopefully threat actors are not this stupid, but like they're going to get their own phone. They're going to send themselves some WhatsApp messages. They're going to see what is causing the scam message flag to get hit, and they'll try to adapt and try to stay ahead of the curve on this thing. Unfortunately, that is a good method for them. But if, my Aunt Dorothea's of the world then begin to rely on, well, it didn't say it was a scam message, so it must be real, right? Like, people need to understand that when it flags a scam message, it doesn't have 100% fidelity. It's not like always correct, or like if it doesn't flag it, it must not be a scam, right? It's just like phishing emails. Some phishes get through the filters. That doesn't mean all emails that make it past phishing filters are legitimate.
White House looks to the private sector for help against offensive hacking.
This is
On
wild,
Wednesday,
dude.
The president signed a national security memorandum that
I heard
sets
this
the
yesterday.
stage for private sector companies to, quote, take a larger role in helping law enforcement carry out offensive hacking operations against transnational criminal organizations, otherwise known as TCOs, end quote. This will be managed by a federal coordination center. Participating companies must sign contracts with the Justice Department or Department of Homeland Security to undergo rigorous vetting. This arrangement would also allow participating companies to sign commercial agreements with other private sector entities to receive threat information. Reactions among industry insiders are mixed, some hailing this as a step forward, while others express concern that this may become, quote, a perpetual motion machine for billable threats, end quote.
All right, so I don't research or prep for the show, but I do live, breathe, and love cybersecurity, so I'm constantly like dialed in on it, right? Obviously, this story broke yesterday. I saw it yesterday. I consumed it like a sack lunch yesterday. This is absolutely wild. Basically, what this is doing, this is like this is the equivalent of like in the Wild West, deputizing anybody that wants to be law enforcement in order to like put control in place. This is the equivalent of like martial law, or it's not martial law. Like, okay, so you might be like, well, what's the problem, Jerry? Like, we've used private armies all over the time. Blackwater, for example. Dude, this is bananas. Okay, so if they do say that they're going to put some regulation in place, some governance, it'll be run through some government entity, whatever. Here's my prediction on these things. Dude, you're basically like legally authorizing private sector companies on behalf of the United States federal government to hack other countries and other entities. I mean, dude, okay, so just think about the money here, okay? All the professional services companies, especially the private army companies, are going to like just lick their chops on this one. So now you can hire hackers to just hack all the things and make money. When you deploy 5,000 soldiers privately into a war zone and they have very clear instructions, it's like pretty easy to see if they're doing the thing they're doing and measure it and all these other things. This right here, cyber, dude, cyber is not as easy to measure, right? Plus, now you can have people who are freelancing, just kind of hiding in the noise. Like, yeah, like this is going to turn like, hey, for what it's worth, guys, if you were worried about AI taking your job on the offensive side, This is a great piece of news because like this is going to literally rip open the floodgates on offensive security. And pen testing, red teaming offensive has long been, I would consider it the smallest pie slice in the cybersecurity industry career pie. Because it's just like everybody uses SOC analysts, everybody uses GRC, but pen testing you kind of outsource. Maybe the fancier Fortune 50 companies have in-house financial services for sure, but for the most part, it's like gig work, right? This right here, no, they're going to have you on staff because these companies are going to want these fat contracts. And another thing, like again, I'm going to start getting a little into the I think what's going to end up happening, unfortunately, is this is going to turn into like a real problem. Okay, you're going to get some group that overextends their boundaries, knock something over they shouldn't, cause a big thing, and just hide behind the banner of the U.S. flag. For better or worse, unfortunately, I don't know enough about this. This is effectively hackback, right? This is hackback. The only other countries that come to mind that have these kind of capabilities, really, it's like unofficially Russia, right? So we talk. I regularly talk on the stream about Eastern European cyber threat actor gangs and how they have basically bulletproof coverage from the Russian government as long as they don't attack Russian businesses and Russian friends of Putin, basically. But if Russia taps them on the shoulder and says, go do this thing, they go do it, right? This is basically giving the current presidential administration an entire cyber offensive capability that just expanded exceptionally. This right here is a massive talking point. Massive talking point. Like I do wonder, like I don't know if they'll talk about it in the Age of InfoSec AMA today. But this would be something I would love to get John Strand's thoughts, Jason Haddock's thoughts. I'd love to get your thoughts. What do you think? In fact, I'm going to open Cyber Career Hotline today with this question. You think this is a good idea or a bad idea? I think, just so you guys know, I think that this is a good idea. I think this is a good idea. However, I think it will be implemented poorly on its first go around. And just the final thing I'll say is if you look at how vulnerability discovery and allowing security researchers the ability to find vulnerabilities in software without risk of being arrested, like in like the early 2000s, what that did for the cybersecurity industry, the IT industry, software society, etc. It by expanding the scope to private sector, effectively we got much better software, right? So I feel like this is, there's only so many people, but honestly, what's going to end up happening is basically all the NSA TAO guys and ladies are going to leave the federal government and basically join this. It's no different than if you're like this super awesome Marine, right? And you get out of the Marine Corps or you're a Green Beret and you exit the military and you immediately have a set of skills that are very valuable, but not really practical in the real world. You go work for Blackwater and keep doing what you're doing. That's what's going to happen here. Okay. Hey, Dream Logic.
Taiwan says it was hit by abnormal AI-assisted cyber attack.
What is this?
Described as a first-of-its-kind breach, the country's Ministry of Digital Affairs said the abnormal attack targeting government agencies began on July 20th. According to Israeli AI company Dream, which detected the intrusion, the attackers, quote, used open-source AI agents to build an autonomous hacking tool that behaved like a coordinated cyber team, end quote. The tool apparently compromised at least 85 government user accounts, extracting more than 2,500 personnel records before expanding the attack to Taiwan's Nuclear Safety Agency and at least 7 energy companies, end quote. The finger of suspicion is unofficially pointing towards Beijing, which has also been ramping up military and political pressure on Taiwan to force Taipei to accept its claims of sovereignty, but neither Taiwan nor Dream have made concrete accusations.
All right. I mean, there's only 4 months left in the year, so if you had Taiwan invasion on your in 2026 on your bingo card, still possible. So what Russia's doing to Ukraine, China is like low-key doing to Taiwan, just not as strongly or as overtly at this time. China's mixing a kinetic military element. They're basically doing military drills upside Taiwan's face every day, in addition to these hacks. Okay, this is what you can expect, guys. AI automating cyber kill chain. It's getting better and better. The news is, like we're seeing these models break out of containment and do the things, right? So when it breaks out of containment and does the things by accident, what happens when like everybody in the room is like, we wanted to do this exact thing, go after it, okay? That's what's up. Now they called it an abnormal attack. I mean, abnormal just sounds like it was abnormal because it was incredibly fast and incredibly effective, not human looking. Now, a company called Dream, I've never heard of, was able to detect the intrusion, saying that the attackers used open source AI agents. I don't know how you determine what AI agent or what the source build was in the beginning. Like that's not impossible, but usually the AI isn't like, I don't know. I don't think you like push the AIs in there, but maybe I'm mistaken. I don't know. 85 government user accounts are compromised. If I had to guess, that was crappy credentials, or could have dumped creds from like a Windows box, right? Like 85 different people had logged into it and their creds were cached, perhaps. It is scary that it went into the Taiwan's nuclear safety agency, right? I mean, not exactly access to the nuclear weapons, but I mean, Jesus, right? It's scary. No one's saying it was China, but dude, the reality is, dude, if Taiwan is getting attacked, there's like assume China until proven otherwise kind of thing. Like China's made no bones about it. China doesn't even recognize Taiwan, right? Like that's how likely it is. Like China believes Taiwan is actually a state within the country of China. Fun fact, did you know like John Strand is like incredibly educated on like this region, China, South Pacific, history of it and stuff, and current affairs and everything? I found that out on like a AMA panel. I had no idea. Yep. So anyways, the TLDR here is like China screwing with Taiwan, China allegedly screwing with China, right? Is not anything new. What you want to see here is that AI assisted cyber attacks are continuing to mature, continuing to evolve, and you can expect more of this.
Huge thanks to our sponsor, ThreatLocker. AI risk does not only come from attackers. Employees are adopting AI tools faster than many organizations can evaluate them. Today's tip: an AI policy should be backed by enforceable controls over what tools can access and do. See how ThreatLocker can help you govern AI use at threatlocker.com/CISO.
Hold on. Space Tacos in lurker mode, yet able to jump up and scream out with a super chat. Thank you, Space Tacos, for the super chat. Congratulations on the new job, Moriega1338. At Moriega. It's not coming up for me in autocomplete. But does anyone know? Like, mods, did you guys get a screenshot of that? Moriega. See, I can't. It's hard for me to scrub these things. But I will say, Moriega. Hell yeah, nice job. Congratulations. Absolute W. W in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Love it. That's what we do here. First timers, long timers. We celebrate wins. And when someone gets a job, oh my God, wrecking ball all day long. Best sound effect on the platform. Guys, thank you so much for being here. 1 second. I just realized I got to do something here. Give me a second. Stand by. Anybody to stand by. Guys, thank you all for being here today. I know it's a Friday. We got a great day for you. I want to say again, shout out and thank you to the stream sponsors, Threat Locker, Anti-Siphon, and Flare. There we go. Let me do this really quickly. Here is actual live footage from Flare. Guys, see your organization's real exposure. Flare continuously monitors the dark web and criminal underground to help you detect and respond to cybersecurity risks faster. Right now, you can start a free 2-week trial and see what Flare has for your specific organization. Not just, holy crap. Eric Taylor, Barricade Cyber, 50 gifted subs coming in wicked hot.
Did we just become best friends? Yeah.
Is a lot more than just a threat intel feed here. You can actually see creds. You can see your organization. You can see compromise. You can see the info stealer logs, everything. Go to simplycyber.io/flare. Simplycyber.io/flare now to start your 2-week free trial. Believe me, I've used this platform. I really find this platform powerful. And for free for 2 weeks, dude, instant value train. Eric Taylor with Barricade Cyber has entered the chat with 100 gifted subs. Friends, that is a lot of folks who are now squad members. If you're on YouTube, go ahead and click on the emote tray. You will see a whole list of new emotes, and your name will be green. That is squad membership. Thank you very much, Eric Taylor. Thank you, Barricade Cyber. It's great to see you on this beautiful Friday morning. Eric making it rain. Yep. All right, guys. Every single day of the week has a special segment, and Fridays is Dad Joke Fridays with our friend James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet. I did get some feedback from a community member who said that their spouse does not like the way I tell the jokes. But to that person, I'm sorry. I would just recommend you pause the video and then in 2 minutes play the video on double speed, and I'll tell. They say I tell the jokes too slowly, but this is how I do it. All right, I have not seen these jokes in advance. Okay. Oh, here's the story from Moriega and their job. First, they're a first timer too. Welcome to the party, pal.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Long-time listener on replay, first time catching it live. I also started a new job on Monday. I've been laid off since March. Thank you, Jerry, in the community. Dude, Moriega, absolute W. Like, it must feel, trust me, dude, I've been laid off. It sucks. That feeling sucks. And then to get the job, amazing. It feels amazing. You absolutely should feel great going into this weekend.
I came in like a wrecking ball.
Thank you for sharing your story, and thank you for being part of our community. All right, here we go. Dad jokes, guys. What happened when 3 database admins walked into a NoSQL bar? What happened when 3 database admins walked into a NoSQL bar? They walked out because they couldn't find a table. Oh, God. They couldn't find a table. You get it. Why couldn't the pasta get into his apartment? Oh, Jesus Christ. Why couldn't the pasta get into his apartment? No keys. No keys. Bro. That's a good one. Okay, here we go. What happened when Jerry ordered an axe from Ireland. Now, for those who don't know, James McQuiggan is traveling to Ireland. What happened when Jerry ordered an axe from Ireland? He got a foreign accent. Hey. All right. Thank you, James McQuiggan. Those dad jokes are superlative. Well done, my sir. That was great. Foreign accents and no keys. Oh my God. W. All right. Let's finish strong. We do have Cyber Career Hotline coming up. Just a reminder, it will end at 9:30. There is a ton of work to get done today and not enough time to do it.
Another massive Patch Tuesday thanks to AI bug discoveries. This past Tuesday, Microsoft released fixes for 419 security vulnerabilities, making it one of the largest monthly counts on record, and the latest sign that artificial intelligence is dramatically increasing the number of software flaws that security teams must contend with. This follows record-breaking releases of 206 patches in June and 622 in July. Of this month's bugs, 62 were rated critical and 3 are 0 days.
All right, here we go. What's up, Soap Flavored? Got to meet Soap Flavored at Simply Cyber Meetup. All right, guys. Can we just collectively pour a little bit out for all the vulnerability management analysts out there? I get it, man. I get it. You're like... I feel like this is probably not appropriate, but it's also not what the metaphor I thought of yesterday. So like it's appropriate enough to say, like, in my mind, vulnerability management analysts right now, metaphorically, are like the guy at the end of the bar in like an Irish bar in in South Boston. Like it's 11 a.m. and they're just like, they're drinking like Guinness, right? Like low alcohol. They're not getting hammered, right? But they are drinking. And they're just like, they don't want to talk to anybody. Like there's no one sitting near them. The bartender just doesn't even ask if they want another one. The bartender's just keeping the glass full. Like that is vulnerability management analysts right now. We are getting absolutely bamboozled, running backwards through a cornfield with no pants on, with the amount of vulnerabilities being disclosed at this time because of the sheer volume that AI has brought to us. What I can tell you guys is essentially the beatings will continue until we get vulnerability management at the speed of AI. Now, this is whatever the story is. Massive Patch Tuesday, dude. Like, I would love to see a trend line on a histogram bar chart. Okay, what's this guy talking about infographs for? I want to see a trend line of the last 10 Patch Tuesdays and the number of vulnerabilities closed. My suspicion is it looks like the yodeler from Price is Right going, like just continuing to go up. Okay. What do you need to know about this? Let me go deeper, right? My whole vibe here. What's up, Soap Flavor? My whole vibe here. Viking087 says that that's a wild statement. Yes, but it's very visceral, right? You know what I'm saying. You're taking your chances. Okay? Here is the buried value for you. I love giving value. I love going beyond the headlines. I don't even think I said it in the opening. Dude, here's the reality. You could get this story in your news feed, right? RSS feed, whatever. Oh, Patch Tuesday, whatever. Like, you're not going to get the additional insights. Let me tell you. In 2026, whether you're a CISO, a vulnerability management analyst, a one-person band trying to do all the things. Yes, thank you. There we go. Jenny Housley with the quick assist. This is a live look in at the trend line. I am human. Live look in at the trend line. For those who are listening on audio, it is the yodeler on Price is Right going up the thing, and then it looks like the guy yodeler takes a dump, and then the guy who's playing falls down on the ground. Bob Barker has to recover him. Here's the reality, guys. if you want to have a snowball's chance in hell of protecting your organization, given the sheer volume of vulnerabilities being disclosed, and by the way, for all those vulnerabilities that come out, threat actors are using AI to quickly reverse them and develop exploits to exploit those vulnerabilities, knowing that it takes them 1 week to do that and it takes you a month to patch your stuff. So now you've got this exposure window. What you can do for yourself, y'all, what you can do for yourself is you need to figure out what your critical assets are, first of all. Then you got to figure out how do you, like, what systems are involved that get to your critical assets. Then look at the vulnerabilities for those systems. You cannot just sort by CVSS score. You cannot just sort by EPSS score. Those scores are valuable in part of the formula, but if you're just looking at CVSS scores, the scores have no understanding of what your environment is. Those scores have no idea what your critical assets are. You need to focus on your environment and the quickest path to your critical assets and address those vulnerabilities. It's the only way. You have to have some kind of prioritization. That's what I would recommend you do. Looks like we got a job here. Someone got a job. Hold on. I see the wrecking ball, but I don't see people's names. A bimbola. Oh, god dang. A bimbola. Hey, really quickly, mods, can you tell me what a bimbola's post was? But we got a wrecking ball.
I came in like a wrecking ball.
Hell yeah. Thank you and congratulations. Dude, this Friday is stacking up to be gorgeous. We got, I think, 115 gifted subs across multiple squad members. We got multiple people getting jobs, couple first timers. I mean, Jesus, I am loving it.
Claude's new watermark ruffles feathers. In an effort to stay compliant with the European Union's new transparency requirement, Anthropic says it, quote, plans to start digitally watermarking all Claude-generated content, end quote, to make it easier to identify AI-generated content. This means everything Claude touches will receive a Created by Claude label, even if it is used for a support role, such as spell-checking an original document. Some observers feel this will, quote, lead to lots of human-created work getting attributed entirely to an LLM, especially because most employees are strongly encouraged to use AI, end quote. OpenAI and Google have also committed to the EU's transparency rules, so they too might establish similar policies.
All right, I don't know where that story is. Like the link in the CISO series is wrong. Anthropic watermark in text. All right. This is a big thing everybody's talking about. Couple things. All right. Oh, Bimbola Akinrele says, Jerry, I transitioned into a permanent role. Thank you for all your encouragement and support. Wrecking Ball, please. Yes, it was absolutely a delight to do the Wrecking Ball. All right. So, guys, I heard about this a couple days ago. This is like not a cybersecurity story at all, but for everybody who uses Claude, it's interesting. Number one, I don't understand how you watermark text. Like, it's supposed to be, you can, if you copy and paste out of Claude, it'll still retain the watermark. I don't understand that. If I, paste without format, like, I don't understand that. Like, makes no sense to me. If you copy and paste something out and then you modify it, does the watermark go away? I heard it does not. I do find it incredibly hypocritical. Hypocritical that, like, Claude basically, Anthropic scrubbed the entire internet, entire news outlets, entire books, right? And people who wrote, like, I've authored books, okay? So if, like, I didn't do the book to make money, but let's just pretend I am all about the money. Anthropic scraped my book. Now, they didn't pay for copyright, yet somehow they have my entire book. But then Anthropic turns around and says they're going to watermark all of their outputs. Essentially, it's not so they can hold copyright, but so you can say it came from Anthropic. I find it funny, right? Anthropic doesn't cite those books or just whatever. We'll see how this goes. Anybody, like, I would be curious if anyone knew how this watermarking happened, because it can't be image based. Like, a watermark is typically an image based, like overlaid on the document itself. So metadata watermark. Okay. Sure. But like, if you just copy and paste without format out of it, even just copy paste out, I don't understand how the watermark looks. Yeah, Daniel Lowry is saying that local LLMs are back on the menu, boys. The boys are buzzing. The boys are buzzing. So anyways, we'll see where this goes. Obviously, I would imagine that, writing a social media post or blog post using AI is one thing, but like, if you're using AI to like generate entire books, I will say this, the amount of AI slop coming out is ridiculous. So it will be nice to have some type of verification. Like, this has been a long time coming. This is going to get more and more better too. By the way, I don't know if you guys saw, but YouTube, the YouTube partner program, the way that like you get paid for ads and stuff, they've actually doubled all of the requirements to join the YouTube partner program. So to get a paid channel on YouTube, it used to be 4,000 hours of watch time, 1,000 subs. And it's something crazy, like 10 million views on shorts in a 12-month period. They doubled it to like 20 or 30 million views and 8,000 watch hours. And I think they're doing it directly to combat with all these AI slop channels that YouTube's got, because basically people are farming views and farming money out of YouTube. So anyways, this is just another wild part of the AI story that we're dealing with.
The forum attacks target Salesforce and ServiceNow portals. This ongoing data theft campaign, spelled city-forum, quote, uses custom tools to steal data exposed to anonymous users through Salesforce Experience Cloud and ServiceNow customer portals, end quote. According to the SaaS security firm Rico, that is R-E-C-O, the attack originates from a single server that has targeted multiple organizations worldwide, including telecommunications companies, banks and financial services firms, enterprise software vendors, security and data privacy companies, and public sector portals. This is an ongoing attack, and Rico says the activity is continuing to increase. The attack is named after the domain that is associated to its source IP address. The attacks are not exploiting a vulnerability in Salesforce or ServiceNow, but instead steal data that organizations have mistakenly exposed to unauthenticated guest users through overly permissive sharing rules, permissions, or portal configurations.
All right, if you use ServiceNow or Salesforce, these are big, huge, very modular platforms that, Fortune 500 companies all use. And just like every other major app right now, they have APIs. TLDR, some of the APIs you can access through unauthenticated public-facing guest instances, and this group is just scraping them. That's all this is, right? Essentially, dude, this has happened time and time again. This is no different than accidentally having an AWS S3 bucket, which is like a AWS database, essentially, open to the internet. Like, which was the case, dude, like 10 years ago, like Daniel Lowry. So Daniel Lowry and I joke about how, like, unfortunately, the stories are kind of like like every day there's like, whatever company gets hit with whatever ransomware, like, how the stories keep being the same. 10 years ago, it was like, whatever company, S3 bucket, public facing data leak, right? It was over and over and over again. This is same thing, right? Unfortunately, you're probably going to see more of this. Maybe it won't get televised as much, but these vibe code, listen, ServiceNow and Salesforce are not vibe coded apps. But what I will say is, they probably have a ton of APIs and someone just missed them because they weren't being comprehensive. But vibe coded apps, they are going to have a lot of APIs and probably not as secure as you would think. TLDR, if you're running Salesforce or ServiceNow, which large organizations are, they typically have dedicated like engineers, like the ServiceNow team, because they require that much maintenance. Just, bring it up to them. Hey, like, do we have public facing ones? Like, you can block all the attacks are coming from this very specific IPv4 address out of Germany. But if we look at, David Bianco's Pyramid of Pain, one of my favorite infographics of all time. So beautiful in its simplicity. If we look at it, IP addresses is near the bottom of the stack, okay? The reason I bring that up is because, yes, all of the attacks are coming from this one IP address. If you block this IP address at your firewall and then call it a day, you punch out and you say, you know what, I think I've done enough to help this company today. I'm going to go get early tacos. It is ridiculously easy for the threat actor to just change that IP address. Go get a new one, okay? So that's not going to do much for you. What I would say is you might want to look in your logs to see if your instance, if you have any traffic hitting your ServiceNow or Salesforce local instances. If you're completely cloud-based, like just using the SaaS provider, I think that would fall on ServiceNow and Salesforce to be able to tell you that. But my understanding is this is more of the instances where you've got your own instance. Look for it. Obviously, also my guidance would be go look at all your public-facing APIs for your instances of ServiceNow and see, are they appropriate or not? Elliot Mattice wants the saxophone. I will tell you, this infograph's had the saxophone several times, okay? Even did a weekend in Bali with this infographic, okay?
Microsoft merges consumer and business Copilot apps in advance of Super App rollout. This move reflects Microsoft's intention to better compete with ChatGPT, Gemini, and Claude by turning its workplace technology and cloud infrastructure legacy into a position of strength with AI apps and agents. Described as the Copilot unification and announced yesterday, Thursday, the company says some users will see some changes, such as the name Microsoft 365 Copilot being referred to simply as Microsoft Copilot, with a new icon and a new web address. A larger shift will occur toward the end of September when Copilot Chat, AI coding, co-work, and new autopilot agents will be merged into a single app.
All right.
If you have some...
There you go. The inevitability. I feel like Agent Smith from The Matrix should be giving this story. It is inevitable, Mr. Smith. Or what was Mr. What was friggin' Keanu Reeves' name? Neo's name in Matrix. What was his name? Mr. Anderson. Yeah. It's inevitable, Mr. Anderson. Guys, do you remember like early on in the AI, age, right? Again, I like to refer to it as the AI age. Early on in the AI age, Microsoft was like, "Oh, we're going to put Copilot on the operating system and give you a button like on your keyboard." And everybody was like, "Ah!" Right? They meant, like it wasn't as bad as the recall function, but like, dude, people losing their So now Microsoft's like, all right. We got you, boo. We got you. So now what they're doing is slowly tightening the noose. And now they're going to have the Copilot super app. Basically, instead of putting it on, instead of forcing it onto you, they just integrated it in everything. And eventually, dude, in like 2-3 years from now, eventually you're just going to like boot up and talk to your computer and Copilot's going to do all the things. That's all it is. Microsoft's playing the long game, the slow burn. Anthropic, ChatGPT, or Anthropic, OpenAI, they're kind of like eating people's lunch right now. I don't understand why Google and Gemini is like so not like, who's in charge of the Gemini marketing over there at Google? Because these other instances are like blowing up. And I feel like Gemini is just like low key, like, oh, we're part of Google Drive, like, or Google Workspaces. All right. The deeper lesson learned here for everybody, you're going to have, whether you like it or not, AI is going to be hyper baked into all of your main business applications. I hope Microsoft helps you be able to secure Copilot, because it's gonna have access to a lot of things, guys. And the fact that you can just create apps and stuff like that, kind of like WYSIWYG vibe code apps and stuff, and have access to the Copilot, it's not good. I will tell you one specific story, and then we'll go to Cyber Career Hotline. I have a buddy who responded to an incident at a company. Essentially, what happened was the company had data that was not necessarily through some Microsoft 365 product, right? Microsoft 365, they'll help you secure all the things, right? That you can even like just toggle something that says secure, right? But if you're using like non M365 tech in your environment, it can't really help you with that. And then they connected Copilot to it to make it queryable for anyone, right? Obviously, this turns into a big issue because if anyone can query this thing and there's no security around the data set because it's not a native Microsoft product, essentially anyone could query anything in that data set, including people who don't have permission or really any reason to access that data set. Turned into a whole big thing. We're going to see more of this, guys. Don't just think because it's Copilot and you use M365, all the things are secure. If you have some legacy database, if you're using ODBC connections to hook into all sorts of different things, if you allow vendors, customers, third parties, staff, anyone to like kind of interface with these things, we're going to have data breaches all over the place, okay? I'm not even talking about because of the vulnerability apocalypse that's going on right now. I'm talking just straight access using the Copilot. We are living in such a Wild West time, dude. You know what it makes me think of? Final metaphor before the day is out, and then we go to Cyber Career Hotline. Do you know in like movies when they show a spaceship or a recovery capsule re-entering the atmosphere, and it's just like it's got the heat shield, and the heat shield starts like lighting up and heating up, and then they show the inside of the cabin and the thing is shaking like crazy, and then all of a sudden heat shield tiles start flying off the damn thing? That's what I feel like we are as a society and cyber professionals dealing with AI. Like, we have been floating in orbit. Hold on, let me go with this look. We've been floating in orbit for a while, just doing the thing, right? Best practices, change control, system development, life cycle. Oh, everything's good. AI, this metaphor has really got traction. Listen, AI is like this planet, okay? And it has gravity. And it has grabbed hold of us. There's no doubt everybody is using friggin' AI. So our little space shuttle capsule thing got pulled into the gravity of AI. And we've been like circling the planet with a deteriorating, what do they call the orbit? A deteriorating orbit. And now we are about to enter atmosphere and things are heating up. It is getting chaotic. We're just trying to hold on, right? We're barely holding on. That's why everything is like out of control. Vulnerability amounts are out of control. Automated AI attacks are out of control. The compressed timeline between vulnerability discovery and exploit development in the wild being used is out of control. It just, we're shaking and holding on. And this Microsoft super app rollout, that's just the next phase, man. I hope the friggin' capsule doesn't break up fully. Re-entering atmosphere, but that's what it feels like right now. What do you think of that metaphor, by the way? I have no clue what I'm about to say. I'm as much sitting in the front row of this conversation as you are. All right, let's cook. All right, my guy. That was Friday, August 14th, Daily Cyber Threat Brief. Be sure to get your CPEs. Check in on those, exclamation point CPE in chat. Don't go anywhere, because right now we are going to delight you with some cyber security career hotline knowledge. We're going to be dropping bombs in chat. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. Stay tuned, 9:30. By the way, if you're going to be there at 10 a.m. for the Age of AI, I hope to see you. This is an amazing opportunity. Still a little bit of time left to get in here. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. Until next time, stay secure.
I'm Dr. Gerald Auger. This is the Cyber Career Hotline. If you're building a career in cybersecurity, this show is for you. Let's get into it.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Cyber Career Hotline. This is a hidden program. It's an AMA. On Fridays, we do a little bit of a panel. Right now, it's just me and one other, but the panel could grow as the show runs. Again, shortened on a Friday. It's 9 to 9:30, Monday through Thursday. We have tight timelines on that for reasons. And then on Friday, we typically go a little longer, but I am implementing a one-time 30-minute because I just got a load of work to do before this Age of AI Summit. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a minute. You know him as Bowtie Security Guy, but I call him Robert. His friends call him Robbie. Ladies and gentlemen, Bowtie Security Guy.
What's going on, Jerry? How are you, sir?
I'm good. It's great to see you, man. Missed you in Vegas, but it's great to be reconnected with you. How is life?
It's good, man. It's got back from a road trip across America for the last couple weeks. It's been lovely. It just
that's
disconnected
phenomenal.
from technology.
Road trip across America. Robert, tell me, like, what's a place you went to that was kind of not on anyone's radar that you were pleasantly surprised?
Wilson, South Carolina. We went to it's called the Whirligig Museum, which is like a folk art perpetual motion wind like thing that a guy named Wallace created, and there's just hundreds of these amazing sculptures made out of steel that he handmade.
There you go, Wilson, South Carolina. Come on down. South Carolina is a good state.
Absolutely.
So, Robert, I got to get your thoughts on this, okay?
Sure.
There was a story today about President Trump basically activating private sector into offensive hacking operations. This is a massive shift in U.S. cyber policy.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts about this?
So there was an original the AC/DC law that was going to come out, like not the band, but that was going to allow something similar, but it had a lot more regulations. And there was a lot more clarity around what it was. So from what I've read from the bill so far, I'm a little concerned that it could be abused. I'm also a little worried that multiple organizations, because what a lot of people don't understand is, like, if you're attacking an infrastructure, you may be trying to recover data, you may be hacking back, or you may use it for defense. That doesn't mean that that infrastructure wasn't already compromised and isn't somebody's server or somebody's environment that you're actively hurting. I feel like there's a lot of risk that we could open ourselves up to. And it's a bit concerning overall for the fact that we're going to bring in private companies to do these type of things. That is that leads to my concern of more kind of abuse that we've seen recently with contractors and other people being hired who are buddies for ridiculously large amounts of money.
Yeah, I mean, it makes me think of, again, this is a political topic, but again, we try to be somewhat agnostic, but it gives me vibes of, do you remember when Doge came in and they were just hiring all sorts of, individuals that seemed unqualified, and they took all sorts of actions that seemed inappropriate? Like, Absolutely. It gives me those vibes. So, I don't know how you have the governance over this thing without it.
You would need massive governance teams, like hundreds of bodies and regulations and other things. So, like, the way that it was written, like any private company can kind of apply to this. It's very interesting. From a legal perspective, it's perplexing because it goes against some of the other laws and stuff that are in place, like the
Yeah.
Computer Abuse Act and things of that nature.
To me, this is I don't know. This is a classic. This seems like a classic policy for this particular administration. Like, it seems super simple, like, oh, go hack all the things, but like the decision is incredibly complicated with massive repercussions.
Absolutely.
So, anyways, thank you for your thoughts on that. We're joined here at Cyber Career Hotline. And if you have questions, it could be about career, could be about industry, it could be about tools that we're individually using. Your choice. Let me know. I'm looking through chat. Robert, it's been a minute.
Sure.
Anything you want to kind of update people about while I'm scrubbing chat here?
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking for a mentor, you need some help, or if you don't feel comfortable maybe asking your question here, feel free to message me on LinkedIn, or connect on YouTube or Discord on Bowtie Security Guy. I'm happy to help. I don't charge anything for it. If you need somebody to look at your resume, if you need to do a mock interview, a lot of times I'll have people record their answers and I'll listen to them, then I'll give feedback. It's been very beneficial to a lot of people. So if you've got an interview coming up, I mean, it doesn't hurt to get an expert who's hired, 70, 80 people over the last several years in cyber for the biggest companies in the world. I'm happy to do that. Again, no charge, no games, no anything. It's just trying to help and give back.
Yeah, he's a good guy. Really quick shout out. Let's go full screen on Robert. Robert, is that an Aqua Teen Hunger Force shirt?
It is.
Number 1 in the hood.
I saw it and I was like, oh man, I need that immediately. I can do a pretty mean Meatwad impression.
Oh, nice, dude. For those that don't know, Aqua Teen Hunger Force was like an Adult Swim show that came out in probably 2000. I want to say 2001, maybe. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. All right, first question coming in. Changing from 20 years in machining to cyber. All right, nice. Cool, Charles. Work in help desk 4 years while obtaining bachelor's in IT cyber. 46-year-old interested in CMMC. What would be the best route to GRC? All right, so first of all, I'll answer this, and then Robert, since the questions are kind of light at this time, I'd love your thoughts too. And I'll try not to steal all the good answers, right? So listen, first of all, congratulations on your second career in the pivot. You are doing all the things right. A lot of people in your position not a lot of people, but I've seen people in your position just kind of bemoan because they feel like because they've got 20 years of experience in one field that they should just start on third base. You putting in the work and going to help desk is definitely going to help you quite a bit. Now, you say interested in CMMC. What I will say is, up until about a month ago, I would have said CMMC all the way, but the federal government has like nerfed or like neutered or kneecapped, or choose your verb, CMMC. So it's not going to have as much importance, right? Like basically the whole reason that CMMC was hot was because businesses were going to have to comply, which means they had to hire someone to help them get to be compliant. That's a little less needed now, unfortunately. What I would say is if you're interested in audit and stuff, it depends where you live and what your flexibilities are, but professional services companies doing FISMA auditing there's tons of opportunity with that. Again, I made a video on the channel pointing out that those professional service companies are actually financially incentivized to hire junior people with less experience because, Charles, if they were going to hire me to do the audit, I would be like $250 an hour. If they were going to hire you, and again, I'm just for easy numbers or whatever, because you don't have the experience in the industry, they might say, we'll give you $75 an hour, but they're charging the government $250 an hour, no matter what, for that role. So for me, that company would be making $0 profit off of me, which is not a good business model. For you, they'd be making $200 an hour off of your back. So, you know what I mean? Like they're more incentivized to hire junior people to do the same work because the margins are better. So I would look into that. Professional services. It's great way to get into GRC. Robert?
Yeah. And then I would say connect with people, go meet people, go to conferences, volunteer your time. A lot of the kind of entry level cyber roles or early career cyber roles are going to go to people you know, or people that you've mentored, or people that you've met. There's a lot of interviewing that's happening right now. And especially at the entry level, there's a lot of people who do very little and just rely on ChatGPT. So it's becoming quite tedious to interview for entry level. So they would much rather go with somebody they met at a con that was super cool, and just connect with people and have a unique kind of normal relationship. Hey, I see that you're in GRC. Can you tell me a little bit more about it? I'm trying to learn more about the field. Just kind of come open arms, and don't say I'm looking for a job. Don't say any of that. Just let your looking for work flag on LinkedIn kind of tell your story, and just build those relationships. And that's where opportunities will come. But you are absolutely doing it right. And honestly, those help desk skills are going to put you so far above people who kind of get the opportunities before they've actually done the work, because you learn patience, you learn understanding, you learn how to deal with people. Those are some of the most critical skills in an auditor's role, is kind of dealing with big emotions.
100%. I love it. Keep going, and hopefully the community is giving you value and you want to stay. I'd love to monitor your progress as you continue to have success. Matthew over on LinkedIn offers up some thoughts on this Anthropic watermarking technique. He said he thinks that it could be like the first letters of sentences are in a certain sequence, so the AI would be able to basically it's almost like an obfuscated, hidden in plain
Yeah.
sight message. So that would make more sense, because then when you copy and paste out of the tools, it would retain that structure, versus like something in the metadata or something in the font itself or whatever. So thank you, Matthew. That's certainly an idea. Have you heard anything one way or the other on this one?
I mean, you remember when hacking companies and stealing 600 million books was illegal? Like, that was a good time.
Yeah, I know.
I haven't heard any other, but I would agree that's probably what their game plan is. The whole thing is absolute insanity to me. A lot of the things that are going on, the laws don't actually exist to prosecute or to do anything. So if, as a company claims liability, the company basically claims the liability, and then the Computer Abuse Act is no longer valid, because the Computer Abuse Act is for a person, not a business entity. So it's all very wild, what's happening right now.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that like these, like it just blows my mind right now that AIs are hacking companies, and the companies are like, huh, like,
This is unfortunate.
yeah.
What-
I mean, you must have seen the people on LinkedIn who are like basically satirically mocking it, where they're like, oh, hey, like my AI agent broke into Sony Pictures and accidentally downloaded all of their movies. Like, I'm going to review it.
I was one of those people satirically, bashing on it, because to me it's very interesting. And I talked with some of the people who were part of the OpenAI breach, of Happy Face, if I remember correctly, and it was very interesting, kind of the stories, because the only reason they caught it was because it was becoming reckless. As it got closer to identifying a target, it was like throwing prompts into the JSON queries, and like none of it made sense. It wasn't doing what a normal attacker would do, because it was just being aggressive and loud.
Yeah. I will say, at just a quick note on this one, at Black Hat, I interviewed a CEO guy named Snehal Antalani over at Horizon 3. And he actually pointed out that if you drop honey tokens, like basically the AI is going for,
Absolutely.
it's greedy. So if you have honey tokens that look desirable, the AI is going to grab it every time, because it's too juicy. It's too much of a win for the AI to achieve its objective, that it'll grab that honey tokens all the time. So for those in chat, like, dude, honey tokens, canary tokens are super high fidelity.
Absolutely. Anything with your APIs, if you can do anything like that to create some low value targets that are constantly monitored, like that is going to be what the AIs or the AI attackers go after first, because
All right.
it's the shortest path to success.
We've got several questions lined up, so we'll do 60-second responses here.
Got it.
Gabriel Yeager, Robert, have any resources on AI governance or who to follow in the space?
I do not, but Jerry, you might have some. It's kind of a newer area.
It's a very emerging area. I don't really have anyone. I mean, honestly, Gabriel, I'd say me, which sounds arrogant, but
No, I would agree. That's who I would
I am trying to interview and talk to people and then publish about AI governance on my social media platforms. Again, I'm not like the federal government shouldn't contact me as a SME and bring me in front of Congress to talk about AI governance. I'm just saying I'm actively trying to get this stuff as well. There's been some NIST stuff and some MITRE stuff that's come out around it, but right
so
now,
light though. It's like a high level framework. Yeah.
Right. Honestly, right now, it's like I said during the daily cyber threat brief, like we are in like the Wild West right now. Like there's not even like, it's like, it is a complete blank canvas right now. There's like no fences. People don't even know what they need to know. And I was saying this the other day, like, I know people are like, oh, chief AI officer. We didn't have a chief internet officer. It's like, okay, but in my opinion, AI is just, it's so complicated and so large on how it relates to an organization. It's not just the technology. It's like, it's how people are working. It's how people are interacting with each other. It's how businesses are executing their business mission, right? People are laying off staff to have agents do the work. Like, it's not just a thing that sits in your sys tray and you use it occasionally. Like, it is a complete, to say it's a paradigm shift, borderline isn't even enough to convey what AI is doing to everything. So the governance of it, it's like, it's changing as quickly as, as quickly as AI is changing, frankly. So yeah, anyways, it's an emerging area. So that's what I would say. Stay tuned to me, Gabriel.
I'm just blown away that Jerry guy is actually Gerald Auger, which is
really my OPSEC is terrible.
I'm kind of reeling from that news. Good God.
I know. Oh my God.
Who knew?
I'm melting. All right. Sierra Montgomery says, what technical development, research breakthrough, or emerging threat has inspired you most this week? And what do you think security professionals should be experimenting with or paying attention to?
As much as I hate that the answer is going to be AI, you have to be tuned into the AI threats. You have to be looking at AI honeypotting. You have to be looking at, limiting your APIs and what they can do from token attacks. It is so critical to get your AI skills and understanding of defense theory for AI in check. I'm building an entire team that is going to be their job. Emerging threats and AI detect and AI work. That is all they're going to do is chase that stuff. So if your company or team or people are not even thinking about it, they're going to, when they've got an attack that's happening at a rapid pace that they can't keep up with, that's actually, literally triggering 7,000 to 10,000 alerts in your SIM. You've got to be prepared for it and you've got to know what to do. And if you haven't done like disaster recovery or tabletops from an AI attack or what it would look like, please do. Be prepared, please.
For me personally, I got two things. And I agree with the seriousness of what Robert's talking about 100%. So what I'm about to say is not designed to undermine that or change the focus. For me, the experimenting thing, I think I would very much like to roll a local LLM. Like I very much, it's not for the watermark or anything. It's just like, these things are out of control. You log into Claude and like, there's a different interface like every other day. Like I would like to own the control. Like I'll still use Claude obviously, but as contingency, I'd like to have access to local LLM and also, interface it to like run my lights and stuff like that. As far as like emerging research breakthrough, etc., This is a really specific one, and I don't know if anyone's actually going to care, but Cyber Maddie is a YouTube content creator. She's wonderful. Okay. Cyber Maddie, Maddy. She makes content like Simply Cyber does and like other creators, but she's recently started doing more like storytelling. And I talked to Kathy Chambers about this, and people are really enjoying it. I watched one of her videos. I really enjoyed it. So I'm inspired by it. So I actually started filming. I'm going to do a video on the Colonial Pipeline attack. So stay tuned for that. But I'm going to try to do it in a way like Cyber Maddie's doing it. Also using Kathy Chambers has a workshop that she hasn't really told anyone about. So sorry, Kat, like minor spoiler, but I got early access to part of it, and I'm using Kathy's techniques for this. So just a little something that is, I guess, a fun project that I'm doing that I'm super excited about. So stay tuned for that. Okay. Jeff Longer says, oh my God, dude, hold on. Jeff, we'll come back to your question. Restream's a pain. Would the Federal Reserve be considered government?
Hey, you're getting into politics again.
Yeah. So technically, no, but I would say it behaves and acts a lot like it.
Absolutely.
There you go. I can't click on this question. Restream, you stink. Hold on 1 second. I might just have to read this question.
That's all right. We'll do it live.
We'll do it live. What about the technical side in the help desk? How does that transfer in GRC?
I can't express how valuable help desk work is. A lot of the GRC work that I've done, now Jerry's done a lot more, but a lot of the work that I've done is patience and asking the same question multiple different ways to get the answers. Help desk teaches you a ton of those skills. And then the technical aspects is just the basics. Understanding the basics is so critical in a GRC role. Knowing how data transfers, how things move through a network, knowing what questions to ask when somebody gives you an answer that may not be as clear as you would like it to be. What do you think, Jerry? We got 30 seconds.
Yeah, no, dude, GRC is a technical role. It's just less technical than offensive security, for example. People who think that GRC is not technical are gravely mistaken. I actually have an entire video literally on my channel I released in the last couple of weeks called GRC like with no tech ? And the whole thing is explaining like what technical. So yeah. All right. This is a good one. How do you manage your time and expenses?
Ooh, I love that. So I'm telling people right now, if you're trying to move out of cyber, get into cyber, and you don't have at least a year in your savings, that you shouldn't do it. The market is incredibly volatile, and you need to have some sort of safety net to be able to navigate these waters and to feel comfortable taking chances with your career. So I budget really, really hard. So I just use actual old school spreadsheets. There's a ton of budgeting apps that can actually help you stay on track. The biggest thing for budgeting is ensuring that you stay within your actual limits of what you're allowed, which is difficult, especially with the cost of everything going up. Aldi, actually, one of the local grocery stores, and other grocery stores are starting to do it too, will take your budget, take your food and dietary restrictions, and can help you create, hey, these are what you can buy within your budget to eat for the week. Things of that nature, I think, are really smart. And then managing time is all about disconnecting from work and kind of ensuring that you only are putting in the time to kind of get the job done. Killing yourself for a job or that hustle culture, I don't think is something that's viable any longer. Most people just refuse to do it when companies have no loyalty, when companies are going through layoffs every few years. I've been through 4 reorgs in 4 years at my company. So it's so common. That's the biggest thing, is just focusing on your finances and getting everything down to as little as possible to give you the best chance. What about you, Jerry?
Yeah, I mean, manage my time. I'm very, I'd say like 98% of the time I do this. Occasionally it slips, but for the most part, I am incredibly a huge advocate and execute on time boxing. So like right now, I need to end the show at 9:30. It's 9:30. Maybe we go 1 minute over or whatever, but like from 9:30 to 10, I have 3 things that I need to accomplish. And I will, if I finish them in 10 minutes, awesome. Then I'll I'll either move on to whatever I'm supposed to be doing at 10, or I'll do some fun stuff for 10 minutes. But for the most part, I time box and I have, tasks that need to get done then. And then if you've ever worked with me, you'll know that like at 5:30, at 6, like I'm done working. It's now family time. If there are some ongoing things, maybe I'm like, doing a couple things on text message, but I'm not working. I'm with my kids. How was school? What's up? I'm with Mrs. Auger. How, like, let's be present. And then like, I've got a routine when I go to bed and what I do and what the times are. It does seem, why don't you be a little bit more freewheeling and chill? You can do that, but then you don't get things done because you're like lose track of time and all that other stuff. And when I go like on vacation and stuff, I'm not a lunatic. I'm not like, it's 9:30 a.m. Let's go. We're going to the beach right now. Like, but for like getting work done, right? As far as expenses go, I mean, you have to budget. Like it's ridiculous to think that, dude, right now in the United States, at least, like so many people live way beyond their means because credit cards have just, people aren't taught financial literacy. First of all, second of all, they've been given credit cards where they're just like, to buy
Money
things.
has no tangible value. Take your budget out in cash and you'll start to really respect it. That's what I do.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, the final thing I'll say about this is the financial institutions and the mechanisms that have been put in place feels to me, I felt this for a while, it feels very much like feudalism, right? Like you get in so deep that now you don't have a choice. You are beholden to the powers and you don't have the flexibility, right? So you hate your job, but guess what? You got to pay that credit card bill. You got to pay these expenses that you've basically indulged in. Anyways, okay. So thank you, Robert. Give us some love before we head on out.
Yeah, just Bowtie Security Guy across every platform, really, but I'm most active on LinkedIn and YouTube. Feel free to connect if you need help. That's pretty much it. Nothing else to really plug.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Real quick shout out. Gabriel Yeager said he just got hired as a chief AI officer.
Yeah. Congrats.
All right. Love it. Love it. Love it. Robert, have a great day. Chad, have a great weekend. I hope to see all of you at InfoSec Age of AI. I don't know if you're going, Robert, or not, but Anti-Siphon's 6.5 hour summit. I'll have it on. I have to dip for a couple meetings and stuff, but it is what it is. Dude, thanks so much, Robert, for helping out.
See you, man.
All right. Later, everybody. Yeah.